Viewer, brace yourself, because what I'm about to reveal will make Hollywood's fakest golden couple, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, appear exactly like the master manipulators people have whispered about for years, as new court documents unsealed in the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively legal war expose behind-the-scenes receipts that PR teams pray never see daylight, including secret group chats, media interference, mass bot attacks, and even an A-list power broker allegedly caught on tape, admitting he ruined a man's career to protect Blake and Ryan's spotless image. And if you've been following this scandal, you already know the basics, with Justin Baldoni, once one of Hollywood's most promising actors and producers, battling a smear campaign that nearly ended his career overnight. But what many failed to realize until now is how deep the rabbit hole actually goes. Because this isn't ordinary celebrity gossip, but a story involving one of the world's most powerful talent agencies, WME, allegedly pulling strings, scrubbing articles, and deploying social media bots to silence anyone questioning Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And these unsealed documents contain messages from a private text thread involving Baldoni's team as they tracked suspicious press changes, mysteriously deleted podcasts, and convenient article rewrites that painted Blake and Ryan as saints while casting Baldoni as the villain, with Blake consistently at the center of every shift. And as I walk you through the contents of these bombshell records, you'll understand why this could shatter not only Blake Lively's polished image, but Hollywood's entire dirty PR machine, because the story shifts quickly from petty drama to something resembling a political thriller, with insiders and references in the court filings confirming that this situation is not merely about Blake being shady, but about WME using its influence to shield her at all costs. And for those unaware, WME is far more than a talent agency, functioning as a media gatekeeper controlling casting decisions, magazine covers, and which stories reach the press. And if they support you, your career soars, but if they don't, they can ensure you struggle to work again. And sources claim WME has been loyal to Blake and Ryan for years because the couple has generated millions for them. And multiple people have claimed quietly that WME uses bots to inflate client follower counts and mass report negative posts, meaning you make a video exposing Blake's questionable behavior, and it gets removed for guideline violations not because you broke rules, but because bots reported it simultaneously. And fear inside Hollywood is real because people know speaking out against WME leads to blacklisting, silent phones, and vanished deals, effectively making the agency's bad side career suicide. And now imagine Blake Lively trapped in a legal battle that could expose her, and instead of facing consequences, she allegedly has WME's full machine working to bury anything harmful to her brand and destroy the man telling the truth, Justin Baldoni, turning PR into weaponized power. And the digital trail Blake likely wishes didn't exist is buried in these documents, revealing group chats from January to February of last year when the legal firestorm intensified, painting a picture of a team scrambling to track every move, media hit, and suspicious edit in real time, with participants including Baldoni, his lawyers, PR advisors, and close allies on the front lines. And one thread shows them planning to launch a website presenting all evidence against Blake and her allies, not vague statements or rumors but real receipts, with the goal of creating a public timeline to connect dots for everyone watching. But midway through, the original Google Doc vanished mysteriously. The website was wiped, and only the lawsuit filing and a single exhibit remained online, raising questions about whether this was a simple technical issue or a deliberate effort to keep evidence from the public. And the chats also show Baldoni's team monitoring social media for unusual activity as videos critical of Blake were taken down after suspicious mass reporting, suggesting a coordinated attempt to suppress negative narratives and overwhelm the truth, revealing a system operating far beyond typical PR cleanup. And when all the pieces are aligned, the picture becomes clear, showing a Hollywood ecosystem where image overpowers truth and powerful institutions can bend narratives, hide evidence, and silence voices to protect their prized stars at any cost. And this unfolding situation exposes how vulnerable anyone becomes when challenging powerful Hollywood systems, and how far institutions will go to protect their lucrative stars, showing how narratives can be engineered through coordinated digital pressure, targeted media shaping, and enforced silence across the industry. And as more details surface, it becomes increasingly clear that This wasn't improvisation, but a calculated strategy to obscure accountability and preserve Blake and Ryan's pristine branding, leaving Justin Baldoni battling not just a legal opponent, but an entire ecosystem built to protect high-value celebrities, revealing how deeply rooted and far-reaching Hollywood's reputation control machinery truly is, and this raises serious concerns about transparency, influence, and whether accountability can exist where image is engineered and truth becomes expendable today. Critical videos about Blake vanish overnight. Influencers complain about sudden takedowns, and entire conversations disappear from public view, only for favorable coverage of Blake to appear in major outlets moments later, written in a tone that softens or erases her involvement completely. And this isn't the behavior of people scared of the truth, but of people chasing it, documenting every shift before it gets wiped for good, while Blake's side stays silent except for a media landscape that magically tilts toward her. And this is exactly where the mask slips, because in the unsealed group chat messages, Justin Baldoni's team notices patterns that feel too coordinated to be random, including mass bot reporting and suspicious rewrites in major media articles, where one moment videos critical of Blake trend, and the next they're gone from TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram due to community guideline violations. Except the videos weren't violating anything but simply offering commentary, analysis, or reposted interviews. Yet they were all flagged at the same exact time, prompting Jed Wallace, a key figure in Baldoni's circle, to say plainly that it looks like mass bot reporting, a tactic only possible with the money, technology, and scale that powerful institutions possess. And it doesn't stop there, because The Hollywood Reporter suddenly updates a major article about the Baldoni-Lively dispute, not with tiny tweaks but with entire sections rewritten, details softened, and language shifted to make Blake seem like the victim, while even Ari Emanuel's quotes are adjusted in ways that mysteriously benefit her, and Justin's legal team documents these changes in real time, noting how the errors consistently favor Blake and how conveniently the outlet leaves out damning details like the allegation that Ari fired Justin because Blake and Ryan told him to, leading Mitra, one of the attorneys, to sum it up perfectly. Lie after lie after lie, making the situation sound like a conspiracy theory, except it's not theoretical at all, because the documentation exists, the edits are real, and the fingerprints of WME's influence are visible everywhere. But the biggest shock comes buried in the group chat messages when Justin Baldoni's allies identify what could be the true smoking gun, explaining why the story keeps twisting, why the media rewrites itself, and why Blake remains untouchable, all centering on Ari Emanuel, one of Hollywood's most powerful figures and the head of WME, the agency representing Blake and Ryan, because according to Baldoni's team, Ari appeared on a podcast and openly admitted on tape that he personally fired Justin because Blake and Ryan told him to, with no legal review, no investigation, and no process, just blind loyalty to his celebrity clients. Which means the head of a major talent agency allegedly ended someone's career based solely on two actors whose motive to protect themselves was clear, but it becomes even more sinister when the podcast vanishes after airing, not just deleted but erased as if it never existed, while articles referencing Ari's comments get scrubbed, softened, or rewritten by outlets including The Hollywood Reporter, with every trace of the admission disappearing, and Justin's team catches the edits in real time as quotes are replaced, context removed, and Ari's words reframed to sound harmless, with the clear goal of erasing the fact that he tied Justin's firing directly to Blake and Ryan, making this far more than PR cleanup and instead an active rewriting of history to protect Hollywood elites, revealing a coordinated effort so blatant it can't be brushed off as coincidence, because when powerful media outlets, sudden takedowns, mass bot attacks, and vanishing recordings all align in one direction, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. It's deliberate, meticulously coordinated, and unfolding under the watch of an agency with enough power to blacklist anyone who challenges it. And for Justin Baldoni, this proves the fight he's in isn't merely against Blake Lively, but against a whole system designed to keep people like her and Ryan Reynolds untouchable. And you might be asking how Blake keeps getting glowing coverage while Justin's side is buried, twisted, or erased entirely, with the answer pointing to Penske Media, one of the most influential media empires in entertainment, owning outlets like Variety, Rolling Stone, Deadline Hollywood, The Hollywood Reporter, Billboard, and more, all of which shape public opinion about celebrities, and disturbingly, according to Justin's team, these outlets have deep ties to WME, the same agency shielding Blake and Ryan. And while WME's direct funding of Penske isn't publicly confirmed, the relationship is about leverage and access. If WME dislikes how you cover their clients, interviews vanish, exclusives disappear, and for entertainment outlets, losing access can be career-ending, meaning when WME wants a narrative spun in Blake's favor, it happens seamlessly, and another layer exists because money from the Saudi Arabian Sovereign Wealth Fund once flowed into both Penske Media and Ari Emanuel's talent empire. And though Penske cut those ties in 2018 after the Jamal Khashoggi scandal, the connections had already been established, creating a network of influence that overlaps with the system protecting WME's top clients, so the very platforms the public trusts for truth are operating within a closed ecosystem where Blake and Ryan can be shielded from damaging coverage while Justin Baldoni can be painted as the villain regardless of facts. And when the dots are connected, this isn't merely PR strategy, it's a chokehold on information flow, and in Hollywood, control like that is priceless, giving Blake and Ryan the difference between scandal and sanctity. And now, after seeing the unsealed evidence, reading private group chats, tracking vanishing articles, monitoring suspicious bot activity, and witnessing real-time rewrites of history, one thing is clear. This was never a simple celebrity feud, but a coordinated campaign to protect Blake and Ryan at all costs while erasing Justin Baldoni before he could push back. And the manipulation isn't small-scale, it's industrial. A machine designed to crush reputations, rewrite facts, and ensure that the wealthiest and best-connected always prevail, illustrated by Ari Emanuel allegedly admitting to firing Justin because Blake and Ryan demanded it, the podcast vanishing, quoted articles scrubbed or rewritten by outlets within his agency's orbit, and social media posts critical of Blake mass-reported until they disappear. While the remaining coverage consistently portrays Blake as the victim and Justin as the problem, and if any ordinary person tried this, exposure would be immediate. Yet with WME's reach, Penske Media's network, and billions in influence, the truth can be buried so deeply the public never sees it. Until now, with these documents, messages, and digital manipulation trails revealing that Blake's America's sweetheart image is a carefully constructed shield, concealing a ruthless PR strategy aimed at destroying anyone threatening the brand. And this time, Justin Baldoni happened to be the target, leaving the question, will the public finally see Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds as they truly are, or will Hollywood's PR machine bury the truth once again, maintaining the illusion, protecting wealth and power, and manipulating perception on a scale ordinary people could scarcely imagine, showing that in this world, control over narrative is everything, and no challenge to the elite goes unanswered. As the evidence now proves that the story behind the headlines is far more calculated and sinister than anyone outside this closed system could have realized.